Listen, I do not think that 27 is old. And I'm not saying that because I'm 27. I don't feel 27, I'm going to tell you, but maybe that's because I didn't really gain consciousness as a human being until I was 24 years old. Up until that point, I was pretty much living in survival mode and autopilot. So then once my frontal lobe developed and I, went through a spiritual awakening, whatever you want to call it, just I actually became a human being, is what I feel like. In my brain, I'm like just beginning my life. So I'm just figuring out over these past like 3 years what it is I actually like to do. I got sober. So what do I like to do outside of drinking culture? Because I'm 10 months sober now and I'm finding out there is so much more to life than just, drinking and blacking out and getting drunk, which is what I spent almost all of my adolescence doing because that's just the culture of where I live. I'm not saying that everyone does that, but that's just kind of it is that's what it is. It's it's sports and it's drinking and yeah. So finding out a lot about myself and what I like to do, and I'm realizing that life isn't terrible because I spent almost my whole life wanting to die and even like tried to a little bit. So I'm realizing that, what? Getting older isn't that bad. And I speak on this a lot because things have gotten better for me. And I was so scared to age, especially as a woman and the world that we live in. But I genuinely feel I've never felt better. I've never been more healthy in my entire life. I've really truly think that we're sold this ticket that like 27 is old, that 30 is old, but I really feel like your late 20s and 30s are the best because that's when you're truly getting to know who you are, and that's when it gets good. When you know who you are and you know what you want, and then you have sort of the foundation to like figure it out and go after that. And even if you don't have it all figured out, at least like you have a greater sense of self that can allow you to sort of, work towards that. Because without that sense of self and that groundedness and belief in yourself, it's going to be really hard to even do what you want to do or accomplish what you want to accomplish, and or even know what you want, because I really didn't know what I wanted until I went through a lot of hard stuff that made me realize what I didn't want. I had to experience all that in my early 20s. I really, and in my teen years, I just sort of like was kind of crazy. So I'm happy that I was, because now I know exactly the kind of life that I'm striving towards.